many congrats.
Thank you so much.
Aamir, and just tell me, what kept you going for whole years or 2 years?
What kept me going? The first thing is that when I started my preparation for the civil services, it was not because of a childhood dream. I really put a lot of thought, lot of realization into it, and why I wanted to do it. So I had very strong reasons and very strong motivation to do it, and that is what I always stood at the back of my mind. इसके साथ the family support and my grandparents, my parents, and how they helped me through the whole process.
During the study time, have you felt low, and if how you cope?
Yeah, at times you do feel. For example, you may be writing a test and you don't find a result which you wanted, or आप 5 घंटे 8 घंटे पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं and after 5-10 hours you feel bored, ऐसा लग जाता है. That's the normal process. उसके बाद the one thing that I used to do is say I used to have some hobbies, so I would just switch on to those hobbies for a while, try to relax a bit.
So you kept yourself relaxing and making your study interesting.
Yes, that's true.
And while choosing some optional, I mean, have you been told by somebody or it was your own call?
It was my own call. It was my absolutely own call. My option is philosophy. So I'm an engineer by background, but during my engineering as well, I did read some of the philosophers out of my own curiosity and interest. Then when it came to choosing an optional for the examination, I chose philosophy.
And one thing which I realized that large number of students read more but write very less. What you did?
So I used to read a lot of it, but at the same time I would do a lot of answer writing practice as well. It's very important because at the end of the day, when we are writing main examination, we are not in front of the examiner. Examiner has nothing but our answer sheet there. So how good we write there determines how we good are in front of the examiner.
And how you actually read newspaper, because a lot of the students complain that they take a lot of time in reading newspapers. So how you manage newspapers, magazines?
First thing, I don't think newspaper, even if it takes a lot of time, it is not a waste of time. It's an essential component of your preparation. So if you're spending 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever for newspapers, don't think that it's a wastage of time. It's a good use of time. That is the first thing. Second thing is, if you have a good understanding of the syllabus and you have things in mind and what are the different things in different papers, that helps you, eliminate or, take out the information from the newspaper better. Okay. So it's important to understand which are the things which are more related to your examination and which are not. Those things which are not, you can easily skip them. So इसके लिए if you take help of the syllabus or the course examination, it does.
When you saw the paper 4, ethics, which is a big problem for many students, I mean, what thought in your mind to answer those questions like case studies?
Okay, in case studies, we know it is a situation analysis, that you have a situation there and so some incident is there or some particular phenomenon is there, then you are supposed to be some person in authority and position, then what would be your course of action? So the approach generally used to be, first try to understand what the case study is, what are the issues involved, who are the stakeholders, who are the people affected, then what kind of possible decisions can be taken and what would be the outcome and the repercussion of those decisions on, say, as officers, on people, on the reputation of the government and different. So that stakeholder analysis becomes very important.
Is it more about your insight call or it is from borrowed idea when you're writing?
No, it's not just an insight call. It's a simple use of reason that you have a situation, then you also have a number of options in front of you. Then you choose the options according to their merit. And how you decide the merit is on the basis of what kind of impact and outcome they would have on different stakeholders.
Without even reading, I mean, one can go through, reading in a specific book, one can go through for paper 4?
I would say not entirely. In paper 4, there are some of the theoretical portions whose syllabus is well defined.
Aptitude,
many others. Which essentially we need to know. We need to know.
Great philosophers.
Yes. When it comes to writing answers, we also take help of that theoretical knowledge and then add up with our own observation, with our own understanding, and then only the answers become more holistic and comprehensive.
When you prepare for essay, because it is very dynamic nowadays, 2 questions are being asked, what point you kept in your mind that which area you are going to choose for writing and why?
As far as the choosing the topic in an essay, the only criteria, the first criteria that I used to follow is understanding the topic well. So if there are 4 topics, say there may be one topic about which I have read a lot, I have a lot of information, but maybe that I don't understand the topic that well. Okay. But if in that comparison, if there's a topic which I understand well, I may not have read too much about it. I would prefer writing that one. Because if I understand the topic well, that means I can somehow do justice to the demand of the answer. Otherwise, there's strong liability there. While I'm writing 1,000 words, I'll write something else which examiner does.
So have you practiced for essay writing through certain sources at your own?
You don't need sources. You generally have a lot of topics around. You can yourself make a number of topics, and then write an essay on, say, a Sunday or every fortnight, and that suffices. But practicing essays is very important.
Very important. Yes. And when you went for interview, I mean, of course, there was a nervousness outside the UPSC. So, what were those things in your mind when you were answering the question?
Okay, the things that were in my mind, one was that I wanted to keep all the chaos and all the tensions outside the boardroom. But I went inside, and my only thing in my mind was that if I get a question, I'll try to answer it in my best possible way. And if I don't know the answer, I'll be as honest as I can. So that honesty, then with having proper etiquettes, trying to listen to the questions properly, letting the panelists first complete their questions, only then trying to respond. That was one of the basic strategies.
And there must be some area in which you were not sure and you did not answer at all?
No, there were not any such areas in which I did not answer the question. It is possible that maybe some answers would not have been that good, but mostly it went in a very good flow. So I responded most probably all the
And then when you wrote main, as nowadays there are 20 questions in 3 hours, have you been able to finish, and is it important to finish all the questions?
Yeah, I have been able to finish most of the questions, in fact, in almost all the papers, except probably one paper in which I missed some of the questions. But yes, it's very important that you complete all the questions.
Because a lot of students misses actually.
Yes. That is a huge disadvantage, and you shouldn't do that. For that, practicing writing these tests, they help. Mock tests, or you may write a test at your home. They do help. So you have a clock, say you set for 3 hours, and then start writing, completing a paper. So if you do it repeatedly, you get a feel of it. How much time does it take you to answer one question nicely, and then all the questions in a good justification.
Generally, many people say that 16 hours is minimum. Some say even 8 hours is enough. What do you say that? I mean, keeping in mind your own preparation on an average.
I think it should be 10 hours a day, but it has to be 10 hours.
But it has to be quality.
It has to be quality 10 hours. You cannot you have distractions. It has to be real and sheer work in those 10 hours.
And one last question, that many students have a fear while preparing. If I'm not selected, then what? It must have cropped in your mind also. What do you say to the students?
I would tell them first of all that if you don't have any strong issues, say economic or other issues, if you can prepare, you should not think about option and plan B's. Don't अपने दो पाँव अलग-अलग कश्ती में ना रखें. जो भी आपके पास टाइम है, आपने सोचा है कि 1 साल की मैं प्रिपरेशन करूँगा, give your best. Don't bother about the outcomes. Uncertainty is there. It's for everyone. Okay. Don't अपने दिमाग में ये टेंशन ना रखें कि अब क्या करूँगा. There are ways you will do. If you don't clear the examination, still you will find a lot of other options at that point of time. You don't need to carry that future burden today on your head. So just feel relaxed and give you 100%, and that should be the way.
And what you would say to the Kashmiri students, because now you have the toppers from Kashmir, Shafi, you are second, and we hope to be third and fourth also next year. So what you would say to those young Kashmiris who are preparing, some line for them?
For them, the message is simple, that work hard. This is an open, fair competition. People from whichever state, whichever place, whichever community, it doesn't matter. It's an open competition. It's a fair competition, and if you work hard, there's nobody who can stop or prevent you. So so you should have that confidence and self belief in you that you can also do it. So work with passion, with dedication, and there's nothing that will come your way.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
And do well in your life.
Thank you so much.